Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Osayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?
Hello, hello. Good morning to you. Welcome to West Breakfast. Always sure to have you join us this positive Monday morning. Sorry, Tuesday morning. Yeah. My name is Omotoshola Sharimak, and this is the show where we get to navigate through important issues concerning diverse topics in Nigeria and beyond. And with that, we don't just discuss, we bring in expert guests to help contribute their expert views to our every conversation. Today is Tuesday. We don't bring in guests on Tuesdays, but we do the conversation all by ourselves. And of course, I have with me the ladies. Hello, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning.
I feel like by now we should have named ourselves like Real Housewives of breakfast. Something like that. How are you ladies doing? I mean, burst of colors. We have the deep green, we have the beige, the touch of black, we have the orange, and here I am,
Like you
toning
said,
down the colors in
it's
black.
a positive Tuesday morning. So you bring the colors to the positivity. You get what I'm saying?
How are you, Sunto? I mean, your scarf. You look a little bit like Ave Maria. What's going on?
I'm supposed to change look. Nothing new. But I'm feeling good today. I think God's beauty and Luchi's vibe has rubbed off on me this morning.
We passed it on to
So
them.
they just passed it on me, so I'm feeling good.
God's beauty of the Most High God.
Hey,
Good morning, specially.
good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I mean, I feel like I look takeaway this morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
You never see someone compliment themselves
Themselves,
before. It's
okay.
fine, it's fine. You don't take
self-love.
away.
Come on, exactly. If I don't compliment myself,
Who
who
will?
will? Do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So sometimes you look at yourself in the mirror. I mean, you already started with the whole positivity thing, so let's just continue.
Yeah.
You look at yourself in the mirror and you just say,
God, they create.
God,
Do
they
you understand? You didn't make a mistake on this one.
It's taking time.
Do you understand?
That reminds me of what happened to me on Sunday. I'm going to talk about two different situations. I was
Okay.
just in my house and there's a church nearby that was praying, and the church says, "May your finances be more than your expenses." It took me a minute to understand that prayer. That day I've turned it to word of affirmation.
Holy Ghost
May
fire.
my finances be more than my expenses, because in the real sense, we're making money, but we have a lot of expenses. We have a lot
yeah.
of bills to pay. At times when you don't even have expenses or bills to pay, one thing will just spoil in the house. Your fridge can just decide to go bad, or your fan will just say, "Ah, the coil has gone bad," or your AC needs service. I will just go ahead and just take that. Maybe
Or you
your
receive
car.
a call from home.
Maybe you receive a call from home, or maybe one of your siblings in school remember that she wants to do FYB or something. So may our finances will always be more than our what? Expenses. That's my
Amen.
positive message for you this
I receive
morning.
that.
Let's take this break.
Hallelujah.
Although, if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official of Great TV, click the subscribe button now. Like and share the link to family and friends. To be honest, we share and we dish out beautiful, educative, entertaining content. It's until you click the button before you can find out if we will truly do that. Let's take this break now. When we come back, we are going to be going straight to the headlines across the globe, and we are going to be having the conversation around work-life balance. How do work policies impact employees' personal lifestyle? We'll talk about this. We have different perspectives about it, and I hope that you, our viewers, will be able to learn and also contribute one or two things to it. Let's take this break. We'll be back in a moment. Glad to have you join us back from the break. Now let's take a look at the news from the pages of today's newspaper. And today we have the Guardian newspaper, we have the Punch newspaper, we have the Vanguard newspaper, and of course the New York Times. And I will be guiding us through the Guardian newspaper. Has the major headline reads, "Sit at home. Insecurity cessationist agitation deep for FDI. Trade in Southeast state." And there are pictures of traditional of governors and leaders in the southeast. Right under it, fuel scarcity, sack Kyari now, coalition demand. PDP says Wike not above party as disciplinary committee issues someone. The next one reads, PDP woos Obi Kwankwaso as CUPP rates Tinubu low. Demand for Dangote's PMS intensify as petrol hits 1,000 naira per litre. Households lament may spend 54.9% income on food, shun investment. Tinubu, Buhari, Shetima, Osibajo made the second Duje's fate. And the last story I would be reading from the Guardian newspaper reads, Oyedele Committee. I take that again. Oyedele Committee awaits federal government approval on VAT increment. And that's it on the page of the Guardian newspaper. For more details, take a quick stop at the pages of the Guardian newspaper for more details. Let's take a look at the Punch.
All right. The major headline reads, PDP governors Wike may clash as NWC meets on Wednesday. NEC pressures NWC to hand over Rivers PDP to Fubara. PDP governors will address minister's threat at meeting, says Forum DG. Above that, petrol will be exported if marketers boycott products, says Dangote, and hospitals, tertiary institutions, electricity subsidy may gulp 188 billion naira. NNPCL may stop petrol import as depot prices near 1,000 naira per litre. And hunger protest, Britain denies fleeing as court remands 10. External debt servicing rises to $2.78 billion, CBN report. And arrested Canada-based Nigerian woman threatening Yoruba risk 2-year jail. Tinubu meets Xi Jinping today, signs bilateral agreement. All right, I think we talked about this yesterday, but just to go over it again because it has a different twist to it. Yesterday, we saw that the NNPCL admitted owing a very ridiculous debt, right, of about how many billions now? I've forgotten the exact figure. And today, they are making another claim that they may stop petrol import as the depot price nears 1,000 naira per litre. And this is just obvious. I mean, if you've been plying the route across the country, if you've just been purchasing anything, you'd see that the prices of petrol and the increase in the fuel price is becoming overbearing and overwhelming. And I mean, it's even telling on these people as they are saying that they would, maybe strain or reduce, put a halt to the importation of petrol. And I'm wondering if this is the best decision to make because this is going to make it worse. If we don't have petrol, what are they now even going to buy?
Yeah.
So you can imagine what it is. But we can understand the strain and we hope that the right measures will be taken and we get back on our feet.
No comments on that. I guess it's all over the news.
All over.
Let's look at Vanguard.
Okay, so Vanguard newspaper, the major headline is anxiety as pump price of petrol races towards 1,405 per litre. Then beneath that we have 2027 PDP in talks with Kwankwaso, Obi says spokesman. And just beneath that, 2024 Paris Paralympics, Team Nigeria win first medal. And on top of the headline, Forex renewed Naira depreciation begins as market turnover falls 25%. Below that, presidency denies alleged frosty relationship between Tinubu Shetima. Beside that, I don't regret joining APC, Amaechi declares. And lastly, Nigerian Airlines not the list from operating to U.S. over safety, FG. So I'll be looking at the major headline, anxiety as pump price of petrol races towards 1,000. This major headline. I couldn't get a proper bus yesterday. I waited, I stood outside, I waited, and even if any bus even comes, they just increase the price immediately from what I normally pay. I just found it very, very ridiculous. See the way I came early this morning so I can get the proper boost. So let me just look into the contents a little bit. So Nigeria's downstream petroleum industry may have gone into a frenzy following clear indications that the federal government may no longer sustain the cost of under recovery, otherwise known as subsidy, due to the steady price in petrol import bills. It is now clear that pump price may be officially raised soon to enable the government, through the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, to generate enough funds to settle its outstanding bills on products received on credit supply by several international dealers. So the NNPCL has already indicated that it cannot continue to sustain fuel importation at rising cost, while passing the cost to final consumers is proving a difficult decision.
I thought he took off the subsidy so that we'll be able to clear some bills. So that's the first thing he did when he was sworn into office. Now, our fuel literally went up by like 200%, like 300%. Some places are selling 1,300. Let me keep my hanger because of what we want to talk about.
All right, let's quickly go over to the international space. The New York Times newspaper. All right, so by the left side of the newspaper, we have patients held against bill by hospitals. But the right side of the newspaper, Israeli hostages are found dead and anger rises. 6 bodies in a tunnel. A growing split between backers of revengeance and a ceasefire. Middle of the newspaper, we have in Gaza, a race to halt polio spread in the world's fleeting pulses. Beneath that, as ash tree die, an ancient Irish game adapt. Next to that, Vance's combativeness may vex some voters, but Trump likes it. Bottom of the newspaper, gratitude warns with purification of gratitude. So the headline I want to quickly touch on is the Vance combativeness may vex some voters, but Trump likes it. So anything that Trump likes is kind of scary. So let me quickly read it out. Let me quickly read the content out so everybody gets to understand. All right, it says the passage highlights J.D. Vance's partnership with Donald Trump in a political campaign. At the outset, Trump was worried because Democrats were resurfacing controversial comments Vance had made in the past, which were turning many voters against him. For instance, Vance has once likened Trump to America Hilda, refers to him as cultural heroine, and made divisive statements such as suggesting women should stay in an unhappy marriage for their children, expressing anti-immigrant sentiment and questioning the widespread use of birth control. These remarks now is in the spotlight. We are damaging Vance's public image. Rather than retreating, Vance chose to fight back aggressively against their criticism. Trump is now impressed with how Vance is handling the situation, feeling that Vance is not just holding his own but exceeding expectations. Trump appreciates Vance's combative style, which he sees as a strength, especially in the wake of President Biden's sudden departure from the race, a move that has shaken the political landscape. So, quick one. It's quite interesting how somebody says you want to rule a country, and look at the kind of person that you're keeping as your partner. Now, before now, we already know Vance to be, he used to be against Trump. I mean, he used to be a hater of Trump. He insults Trump a whole lot, right? Even to the extent that there are some of the things that he says does not really make sense. Let me quickly read one of the things that he said. There was a time where he suggested that women should stay in an unhappy marriage in order for their children. So I don't understand how if a woman is unhappy in a marriage, how do you think she'll be able to train the children properly? It will definitely result to, she inflicting pain on them and them growing up to be very, they will definitely not have a very good grown up. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't know how, at the end of the day, he decides to now be for Trump and not against him. And Trump is happy about it. And he's not fighting the Democrats, speaking ill of them and all of these things. And honestly speaking, I don't know how Trump is, let me not insult anybody on this table, but I don't know how he's happy that he has that kind of person's, you know, backup. But, you know, this kind of speaks to what I was having. I was having a conversation with someone within the week, during the weekend rather, and this person said that he doesn't see Kamala Harris winning this race. The reason is America is a very big country, and where they are right now, he doesn't think that a woman would you know, would be fit to rule them because of the kind of things that are going on, both the drugs and every other thing that, you know, we know about, but somehow we just make it look like probably we are living in Dululu or something. But at the same time, I don't think Trump is a good fit for them, because I mean, looking at his past records and keeping Vance now
and
as
his
an
current
ally
criminal record
is quite funny, but we'll be okay.
Yes, thank you very much for taking us through that. Let's take this break. When we return, we'll be going straight into our conversation, the hot topic for today. You don't want to miss this for anything. Please be on standby. I'll be back shortly. Glad to have you back. As mentioned earlier, we will be discussing how do work policies impact employees' personal lives. Work policies are not just guidelines. They shape how we manage our time, our mental and our physical health. And also they shape how we are. They shape our ability to balance professional commitments with personal responsibilities. Whether it's flexible working hours, remote job, parental leave, or mental health support, these policies play a significant role in our overall well-being. In today's discussion, we will be exploring how different work policies affect employees' lifestyle, both positively and negatively. We'll also look at the challenges, share various experiences, perspective, and also discuss what can be done to create a more supportive and balanced work environment. Note that we won't be having this conversation from employees' perspective. We'll be having this conversation both from the CEO perspective, the middleman perspective, which are the agents that employ people for work, and also from the employees' perspective. Please stay with us and enjoy this rally talk. Much later, we'll open our phone lines for you to join in. But in the meantime, do let us know your thoughts via our different social media platforms. So, ladies, work-life balance. When you hear that word, a lot of things run through our minds. Yes, I know we do not have the same working schedule. We work in our different time zones, different how do I put it now? We don't do the same work, and we don't do the same, So when you hear the word work-life balance, how to impact employees' personal life without affecting work, what runs through your mind? Let me start from the far end, the lady in green. Hello, Mama.
I don't like this. Okay, so let me just speak to. Let me talk a bit about work balance, right? So in this part of the world where everything is very difficult, look at the way Nigeria is right now. And with the fact that if you are very angry, about Wike, in line with Tinubu, you can go and hug yourself and transform. But I mean, what I'm trying to say in essence is there's a lot of things that we need to now do because of the kind of situation we're in right now. We have to do a lot of adding more jobs to the one you're already doing. I mean, just like having a normal 9 to 5 and also adding being part of the gig economy and all of that. But what I would say is, when it comes to work balance now, just look for what works for you, because I don't think there is a particular rule or a particular way. Do you get what I'm saying? Just do what works for you. Like me personally now, I would always say this. I don't see anything as too much work, right? Once I know that I can do this, I just get on with it so that I know that the rest of the time I have like my free time. So I don't see it as work, or I don't see it as too much work. I just see it as, okay, this is things that I need to do in order for me to, you know. So I think just looking for what works for you is what you would, call work balance.
Thank you, Somto.
I'm trying to take from what she said, like when she said looking for what works for you, I'll be doing what works for you. I don't know how to feel about that statement. I mean, I'm not agreeing with it completely. I'm just like, how is it possible to do what works for you? A job is a job, whether you're freelancing, whether you're actually working, like proper traditional jobs. They give you, most times, traditional jobs, they give you, most times, like 9 to 5, 8 to 5. So how is that, how is doing what works for you come in?
So in as much as I know that I cannot carry my CV, I'm going to tell my boss, or probably later to my boss, guy, you will sign here, or you cannot tell me to work during the weekend and all of these things. But I think, first of all, establishing a very good relationship with your bosses does work, right? Right from when I started working, I've never had issues with the people I work with. And that's because I understand their own aspect of, okay, if I'm the owner of this business, what will I do? Do you get what I'm saying? So I make sure that whatever I'm working or whatever I'm doing, I kind of make them relax. So when they are relaxed now, it's easy for you to come to them and say, I've done this one, but man, can I just get this one? What I'm just saying, okay, this is it here. Once you have a good relationship with the person you're working with or working for, it's easier to, rest. It's easier to do other stuff apart from work. Do you understand? So that's how you can be able to have that work balance that you're looking for. But when you don't have good relationship with your boss, you guys cannot communicate. If they say do this, you're doing left and all of these things, you will not see yourself being comfortable in whatever you're doing.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to talk now, yeah. Work-life balance, I firstly thought of the very key word in that statement, which is balance.
Yeah.
And I believe very strongly that the reason why we have balance in life is because there's a tendency to go extreme and there's a tendency to go overboard. So for work-life balance, you are considering your life and you're considering your work. But what's important in that compound sentence is actually your life, you as a person. And then your work complements your life. Your work is just supposed to add flavor to your life, supposed to help bring out, the ambitious, dreams that you have. But there's firstly a life there, right? And that life should be considered, you should be given priority. And then you consider your work as well, but ensure that there's a fine balance to it. And I know you mentioned that we're going to take this topic on different perspective. You mentioned CEO, and I'm wondering, who amongst us?
We don't necessarily have to be a CEO
be the ones. Okay,
so
we have to put ourselves in
the shoes.
their shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great, because I really want to explore all the perspectives of this and ensure that there's a balance there.
Let's just jump straight into the CEO perspective. I've always loved the idea of business, although I've never executed. Okay, yes, I've done like 2 businesses in my life that were very successful, but I've never carved out a big, large-scale business. But I've done my research. When I'm passing by places, I'm looking at, this place would be a very good place to have this type of establishment and all of that. I see business as business. You don't mix work with pleasure. You don't mix business with family and friends, with what my colleague or what my staff thinks or not. The thing is, as a CEO, all that comes to you, all that means the word to you, is that the dream of the business, the goal of the business, I want my dream, my business to grow, or the money, or at times collabo, like it's trending on social media now. You want the business to grow. You also want your finances to grow. So people oftentimes do not care about the stuff that make it grow. I said it last week Friday that it is believed that for your business to grow, for you to make good profit, you have to cheat your employees. I've heard business people say that you have to underpay them. You have to make them go through rigorous work hours. You don't have to care about them. I think I've heard someone say, maybe my dream or something. The person said, I don't work with emotions. I want to see results. I don't know. I think I've heard it somewhere, maybe a podcast or something. The person said, I don't work with emotions. All I want to see is results. So in a situation like this, the person does not really care about what the employees are going through. The person did not really care about, oh, maybe my employee has a headache. As long as you're getting my work done, that's all that matters, period. So now, from the angle of the CEO, they don't want to care about you. All they want to care about is for them to pay 60,000 naira in a month. It means that a portion of their investment will be affected. For them to pay the gatesman 10,000 naira in a month, it means a portion of their business has been affected. And at times, selfish interest also kicks in. So now let's talk about it from the CEO level. Let's put ourselves in the position of a CEO, of a business owner, an established business owner. How do you intend to make good profit, to maximize your profit, and to also keep the business running without overdoing or underdoing? Oluchi.
Yes, so it's not a matter of, you mentioned something that took my mind back a bit. You said there are business owners that feel like if they do not cheat their employees, they cannot make certain profit or increase and gains in their business. But I think it's more of a personal problem than real business ethics, because people that are really the real businessmen, that have the business ethics, that knows what it is to build an organization, would definitely say that there is something wrong. And I think it's even the minority, it can't be the majority, because business is actually about people. You know, I've heard people say this, that, you know, you don't have, as a leader, you don't have to be the smartest, right? But if you can gather the smartest around you, then that business is going to grow. So a businessman is even very people-minded, because it's the people, the resources, the human resource that you have that will eventually lead to that money resource that you're looking for. So a businessman is going to be cheating himself when he thinks he wants to cheat his employees, because they are the... No.
In the hospitality sectors, we precise hotels, restaurants, and all of that. If you should hear how much they pay their workers, and they work for long hours, you'll be surprised they pay 45,000.
That is a minority opinion.
I don't think it's the minority.
It depends on the amount that is coming in as well. Because if I hear you when you say that, okay, this person is paid 45,000 naira. How many staff does she have? Right? How much is coming into the business? Because you don't expect me to overpay when I don't have enough resources coming in. Right. Do you get what I'm saying? Then speaking to the emotional thing you're talking about, right? Like she said, it's a personal thing. Now, there are two things when it comes to a business and when it comes to where you're working. Now, as the CEO of a business, right? There are people that when they come into an establishment, they're like, hey, how are you? How you doing? How you feeling? That's my kind of person, right? I mean, regardless of whether they are the boss or not, anybody they see, they intend to greet, they intend to shake you, they intend to hug you. Like, those are personal stuffs, right? When it comes to the employee aspect, now, if I have a boss that when they come in, the next thing they're telling you is put this there, put that there. They're not greeting you, then you follow suit. You don't have a choice. Do you understand? So looking whether your boss is emotional or not emotional, I even think is a waste of time, actually. To be honest, if I have a boss today that is all bossy, we will be all bossy. If I have a boss that is smiling, I intend to do you, good morning, ma, how are you doing? It's the same energy, whatever that is being passed, exactly, whatever that is being passed from the boss to the employees should be done the same way. So I don't see whether business has an emotional, structure or not. I don't think that's something to even be talked about.
We've established the topic now. Okay. Now let's hit the nail on the head. How do we ensure flexible, or how do we impact employees' lifestyle? How do we ensure that our work life do not affect our normal life? Because Oluchi said something that we have life first before we had work. So something I want you to talk more on that. How do you feel like, from the angle of the CEO, from the angle of you as the employee, from the angle of maybe a work agent, how do you ensure that work life do not affect personal life?
I just want to put it out there that as a CEO, you should just know that these your workers that you're stressing out, like that you're telling them, that you're giving them extra work, maybe extra time, overtime to do. Just know that these people are getting burned out, they're getting stressed. And as they are stressed and they're getting burned out, it's also affecting the company, because the quality of the productivity they're bringing out is obviously going to reduce. It's not going to be the same as when they are energized or when they have full strength. So it's still going to affect you. I don't know whether you have not noticed it, but it's going to affect you either ways. Then the question you asked, actually, I just feel probably there should be like times where just policies, or maybe allowing them to take rest off or a day off or probably vacation. Vacation where they don't have to stress that, okay, their work is piling up or that kind of thing. Just let the policies be a little bit relaxed. Let's not be too strict. Let's be a little bit flexible so that they can, so they'll be able to, they will know that, okay, if I take a day off today, I know that, okay, no one's calling me for anything. Or, see, in my mind, I'm just trying to think of something to say.
I'm trying to say that as workers, in as much as maybe your experience they make you want to encourage remote job, I feel like you should encourage them via other means. Yes, maybe lunch on some days, maybe vacation, maybe leave, maybe giving you your weekend totally. I mean, weekend where you don't get messages from work, you don't get, oh, quickly check this email or something.
Probably they can also work from home sometimes.
Hybrid
I feel
Hybrid
like
structure.
you can also like switch it up. Okay, you can actually work home as far as you get the work done. No, that's good for me. That can also reduce, some stress. Let them just work from home. Do some things there instead of coming all the way. Sometimes some people go through stress coming all the way to the office.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
in my previous workplace, I used to work normally. I used to work 9 to 5. So then when they increased fuel, then our HR reduced our working to 4 times a week, 1 day out. So when they increased the fuel again, so we increased it to 2 days out, 3 days in. And I think I loved it. Why do I feel like I loved it? Yes, we as human beings, when you offer us a hand, it's not employee spirit now, it is everybody. Right. We oftentimes extend it to a org, not even an armpit. We extend it to a org. We want to overdo. But one thing I'll speak for myself. One thing I noticed then was, when I take my vacation, when I take my off days, at times maybe Friday and Monday, or at times Monday, Tuesday, I've realized that weekend is always like another word for me. Weekend, I'm either cleaning or try to prep for the week. Then I attend the church where we start by 10 and we leave by when God says we are finishing. Then we don't have it. Yeah, to be honest, we don't have the time where we finish our service. There are times that we finish 4, there are times that we finish 3, and there are times that 2 because we actually start 10. There are times that 2 we are done. So leaving church already, trying to find your way home, traffic. Okay, let's stop by to buy bread. We can't cook. Okay, let's buy food from. I almost mentioned the name of the restaurant. Let's buy food from this place. Oh, let's buy parfait. Let's do this. You already get them around past 5, right? What you want to do that is have your bath, wash your leg, because you use leg to walk up and down, and then go to bed and sleep. So you don't want to think about work that time. So the following day, you now have that day to not properly relax, to not probably be free from Lagos traffic. Because if you don't go to work on Monday, you really do not know what God has done in your life. Like, you don't wake up on Monday to say, okay, you're going to work, you're hitting the traffic, or maybe you even got to work a day before. You're not even going to work at all. You're on like the right-hand side of God. You're very close to God. You're like that box 90. Right. So let's say I was very productive. I love the fact that I'm coming to work for 3 days. These 3 days I'm holding extra life because I know that I'm working from dusk to dawn. In fact, I'm making toast bread in the morning. I'm making spaghetti pasta in the afternoon. I'm holding small snacks for evening. I know that I'm going to overwork, and there'll be no excuse for me overworking. You talked about hybrid. What if you actually do give them that 1 day off?
I feel like
and they are not working from home.
It's really, really do a lot.
Let's take this break. When we come back, we'll continue conversation. We also open the phone lines. Please stay with us back in a moment. You're welcome back. You're still on to Wiz Breakfast, and now we are opening our phone lines. Do let us know what you think about our work-life balance conversation, and also go to our different social media platforms to drop your view on this matter. I'm trying to read out the phone lines, but then let's just continue the conversation. Before we went to that break, we said there are different things that we can do to ensure that our workers are flexible. Behind the smiles that you see, some people are actually burning out. But when they see you, they are smiling. Some people are actually tired. Some people do not like coming to work. Like the first 3 hours of coming to work, they are like, oh God, can I like disappear? Can I like sleep all through? It happens. But maybe when you see your boss, or maybe when you see your HR, maybe you see your CEO, you try to like put on the fake smile. Aside vacation, aside remote or hybrid, what other things can be put in place to ensure flexible?
I'm sorry if I'm going to divert a bit, but it's not a diversion. You've been talking about burnout and how that people just get tired of their work and all of that. It's very quick and easy to see it from the point of the work, what your CEO is giving you. There's a lot of tasks, you are tired, it's not interesting anymore. But I mean, I have done some jobs that it was quite stressful. But because I really liked doing the job, even though there is burnout,
Passion.
there's something passion does,
I
right?
stand to disagree.
Hold on, let me land my point.
I stand to agree, actually.
Let me land my point. So there's something passion because human beings we are meant to work. We are elastic and we can stretch. That's just the truth. Especially Nigerians, we can actually stretch. That's why when we go out there, we'll take multiple jobs and be sending dollars home. Back to what I was saying. Yes, there's the extreme side of it, but then there's the part where when we get jobs there, if the placement is being done in the right way, we would have people land themselves in jobs that are suitable and convenient and fit for them. Today, because of the work situation in the country, unemployment, people are studying accounting, ending up doing PR or doing something else. You're not doing things that are around your passion. That is one of the first way you'll be burnt out. So many times, it's not what the CEO is doing or not doing. It's the fact that they have placed somebody that is not fit for that role to do that role. So even when they give you 1 day off, you will still not want to go back when there's work.
Oluchi,
Because
I
this
can
work is not
tell
fit
you
for
for free. Personally, that I love what I do. I think I had a conversation yesterday. I love what I do. I mean, this is a career I've chased since when I was in 200 level in uni. I mean, I did 4 years internship before I landed the role at the radio station. I mean, I transitioned from radio station to working at a TV station where I worked 3 years before I moved to where I am at the moment, right? This is a career I knew right from time, and this is what I want to do.
So you experience burnout too?
I feel like I need just a little bit of flexibility. I feel like I need just a little bit of flexibility. I experience burnout. There are times that, oh God, it's Sunday again. Oh God, it's Monday again. Can I just disappear? When my alarm is 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, oh God, this is not the plan for my life, right? So I feel like I need just that a little bit flexibility. Why do doctors and nurses burn out? They swore a lot of allegiance. They went to medical school, spent years, touched cadaver, touched intestine, done one person, did a lot of things. Why do they burn out?
So
It's not the workload. It's not the 7 hours shift.
The thing is, of course, you always experience burnout. But the anguish is coming out from is the fact that most people are in certain kind of jobs and they are always complaining. They are always, we understand this whole burnout thing. See, even me, myself, of course, I get burnt out sometimes.
The billionaires, the richest men in the world are burnt out.
Everybody is definitely burnt out. But it's you having to always repeat the same thing over time that, oh, it's either you're saying, oh, I'm tired of this job, or it's either you're saying that, can I get off every time? You know, you're not making it look like this job is actually interesting, is the anguish is coming from. And honestly speaking, passion goes a long way. Like the only reason why somebody will want to stay in a particular place, even when you're not paid well, even though the amount is small, because you love what you're doing. But now, other things that I would say can, you know, help employees is if we have the right employer, of course. If you have somebody that cares about you, if you have that employer that, although the employers they're not many. But I think
There are
over
5 in this country.
but I think over
3 has
time,
died.
but I think over time, like right from when I started working, I think I've never really had a very toxic boss before. I've always had very interesting people, like people that would actually reach out to me for real, to know if I'm doing well or not, if I am not at work. Those are the kind of people like I've actually worked for.
Okay, so now let's ask the question.
Okay.
Normally, what are those things that companies should put in place to make work easy, or let's not say easy, easier and more flexible for their colleagues, for their staff?
Okay, I'll start with saying that reforms should always be revisited very consistently. Our world is changing. I mean, you started your company 10 years ago, and the same policy is what you're still using to run with. You know this trending case, I don't know, we've not mentioned it, the person that was sued or went to jail for 10 months because he resigned via text. In another context, he might have been wrong, because if you were given an offer letter, right, that's what they call it, through letter. It is wrong to resign via text. There are some reforms like that, right? But then there are companies today that you don't even visit reforms. It's just what has been there for a while. And these people are not informed on a regular basis, because we tend to forget as human beings. So you need to let us know what this company stands for, the policies. That's why regular meetings, meetups are good to help remind people. So that if your own values are changing too, right? You will know that my value and this company's value is already changing. You can quickly know how to move so that it doesn't get to the point where there's no return anymore. So I think that, work policy should be revisited often and often. And a way, if we're talking about that burnout stuff, I want to revisit something she said.
Okay.
I think there are ways to make your job interesting. You mentioned that, yes, you love your job and, you wanted to really do this. Despite the fact that you love your job, there are other things that you do that are not job-related. And that's what's causing the burnout. There are people that they are in their workplaces and they are working. It's not exactly the work that is making them feel frustrated, but the things that led them, like from the house. Some people have, terrible parents. Some people have terrible roommates. Some people have health conditions. Some people have different things that they bring to their work.
Life. Which is their personal life that they have.
So let's take away the work from the equation. That means it's not exactly the work that is causing it. That means you should look for other ways to ensure that...
We are having a conversation around work-life balance. I had a life where I was doing one or two things, maybe family issues and all of that. Then I now had a work. Right. There's some days that you wake up from the wrong side of the bed. Maybe Uber driver now stress you on top of it, and then you are coming to work, you are so disorganized and maybe leave it or something. It is now left for you to balance up. Okay, this is like I need to balance up whatever has happened to me in the early hours of the morning, and I ensure that it does not affect my work. Now, real life issues. Do you rest well? How many hours do you sleep?
What does
your offer letter say? What is rest for me?
What's rest?
Having my weekend to myself. And I think weekend does not include Sundays.
So that means if you are going for a job and they already told you that you're going to
Sorry,
work.
I mean my weekend includes Sundays. My weekend includes Sunday. When I say Sundays, I'm not saying first few hours of Sundays. I mean Sundays. Then early Monday morning, we are now thinking of job. We here understood what we signed up for before going into the job.
Yes.
But we also thought that as things are going on, I feel like in a company of 5 people, right? If you still want to take shifts in a company of 5 people, I feel like it can still work. I really do feel like it can still work. And also there are just 5 people in that company. And you are scared of what if this person works from home and then something just goes, or maybe he says network, or maybe there's no light or something. I feel like the same way we say if you come late, we deduct 5,000 naira. The same way if your work from home should go bad. There are reporters that they don't work for companies. They are just reporters. And there's tasks. You deliver a report a week. You deliver 2 reports a week or 3 reports a week. 1 stand-up report, 1 made-up report and all of that. If you should fault on your report, my former company, if you should miss one of your program, maybe your program, our programs are always recorded, right? If you should miss one program, they'll deduct from your salary. Whatever situation led to you not recording your program and sending it to Abuja at the right time, it is left for you. Either there's no guest, there's no this, there's no that. Probably inform the head of program ahead of time that, okay, I sense that something might go wrong for my next program. But you understand that if you're working from home and you're unable to deliver what you're supposed to do from home, then this is the fine to pay. So I feel like even in a company of 2, if we still want to relieve ourselves of job, we can still do that. It's that you are dedicating your day that today you're working like a camel, you're working like a donkey, you're working from dusk to dawn, and then the following day, let me go and relax.
But it's a disservice when we put these things all on the CEO.
No, it's a
Let me. I'm not landing my point.
I'm so sorry. I just want to say that going back to what you said, that's a personal issue.
Yes,
Whether
not
you're,
a CEO
whether you're going
issue.
through anything at home, that's your
It's a
own problem.
personal
That's where
issue.
that
Yes.
do what works for you comes in. Because you not get a job that is not compatible, is not going with your stress. You get a job that, okay, probably is not 9 to 5, is this particular time, knowing that, okay, you'll be better like that. Or you just deal with your problem, or just don't bring in your home problems to the work. That is not anybody's business. What you're coming to do in your workplace is different from that. You come in, when you come to work, you come in as a new being, refreshed. You don't pour out whatever went on there, because it's not going to.
It's a deliberate process, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a you problem. You can't really blame it on the on your colleagues or the CEO at all. That's a you problem entirely. So that you minus that from the equation.
How do companies ensure flexible working condition for staff? What are those things that should be there normally that to just relieve staff of? Like bankers, they work like from 7 to like 5. There are times 7, 6 p.m. They are still there trying to collect and send to the head office. What are those things that should be there to relieve staff of their heavy work?
I feel I've said it all. The shifts, the what do I call it? It's hybrid, Abby.
Yeah.
The hybrid is there. Possibly making the environment a little bit relaxed.
Yeah,
Let it be fun or break. Let there be break.
All jobs have breaks now.
All jobs.
No, and some people.
By break, what do you mean?
Lunch
Time
break.
to go and eat, exactly.
It's
No,
not
I'm
the
not
break.
sure that's not the break
That's not
she's
break I'm talking about.
talking
Which break is
Like,
that?
at least let it just be like a break. Just like, okay, just relax.
1
You can
hour
just to
to do
relax.
nothing.
It's not really to do nothing. I don't know, but I'm just trying to find better ways. I feel that can actually go a long way. That's something that can actually go a long way.
I feel
That break alone, just for someone to just relax and just maybe talk, or maybe just look at it, just chook your eyes at one film for just that particular period can do something to somebody.
Yeah, it's fine.
So I feel
And I think that, the people in authority too should try, to create an individualistic program where every worker you are looking at them thoroughly. You're not just combining people together.
love this.
Everybody in my
I
help,
love
everybody,
this.
we're having this. Like, that's why we
I
have human
love
resource
this.
personnel
Yeah.
and, other people that are involved. Look at Mira. Like Mira as a worker. What is she doing? What's
Yeah.
the progress?
Don't compare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at everybody. That individualistic approach will help you to know where there are faults and how to balance it. So this one is just for those
Then
in the
to just
administrative.
add in, because of the kind of economy we are in, I think increasement of salary sometimes
True.
does work.
Yeah.
Appreciating the staffs that work with you works as well.
Okay, appreciating them, I agree. Increasing of salary, not every workplace
Can afford that.
That's where the appreciating comes in.
And the appreciating can come in different ways.
It has to be money-wise, my love.
What if they cannot afford
I know,
I don't understand. You cannot afford a
your boss
5,000
can
naira.
just
What
come.
if they-
Your boss can just come and just like, or just always compliment your work. Always,
that's
that's
part of
what I'm saying.
appreciating.
Appreciating.
That's
That,
another
you
umbrella.
mentioned the money, and I'm telling you that not everybody can just.
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying. There are other, like I keep on saying, there are other ways now. You can just come, maybe gather them. Oh, appreciate. Just say, oh, thank you guys very much for the effort you've put in. Continuously, like, tell them, oh, you did a good job today. I like the way this. Or just be complimenting them. Oh, this. Just you have to establish a very good relationship with your the people that you
I already
have,
said
so
that.
that they'll be able to be comfortable in the workplace.
Now let's talk about overtime. It happens. There are times that you plan to leave 5 and something will just pop up and you have to even not stay to 5, stay to the following day. How should this be complemented? Colleague-wise, before we even go to CEO or board of trustees or HR or this thing, colleague-wise, when you know that your colleague is working overtime, how can you as a fellow colleague help relieve
How it concern me?
This is the issue.
No. Overtime is overtime ever
that we
imposed on
should, in
someone?
every company, there should be something called team spirit. If I know
agree.
that you'll be working overtime, I think I should try to relieve you that, okay, don't
Helping
worry.
you.
Look at something
Okay,
happened
wait,
on Monday
let's
morning.
be
I thought
practical.
you went
I
out.
want to really be practical with this.
I thought she went out on Saturday, right? When I came here on Monday, I already told myself that I would not let her come on the show, that I would let her sleep for that few hours. And then she would, when it's
But
now
that's not
normal
overtime.
receiving time.
That is normal
It is
work
overtime
hour.
because I thought she went out on Saturday. Saturday is not normal
not a
working
normal working
hours.
day for
So I feel like, okay, she now coming to work on Monday morning. Oh wow, more grease to your elbow. Don't worry, take this few minutes. Just go and sleep somewhere, even if you used to press phone. But you know that your brain is not active at that time. So she now told me that, okay, she didn't go out on Saturday, it was on Friday. I understood something called team spirit. I am not a perfect human being. We as human beings all have character flaws, including that our CEO that we keep saying, oh yeah, you must do this. HR is always wicked. She or he also have character flaws. They are human beings. Then they also give report to someone. Right. So we as colleagues, when you notice that your colleague will be doing overtime, maybe the colleague plans to go home by 4 instead of 5, and something happened, and the colleague had to stay back to 6. How can we help each other? That's the question.
That is a very dicey one
It is
because
actually.
nobody imposes overtime on anyone. I think with normal work policy, if you now find yourself in a place where they are imposing, it means you're in the wrong place and you should leave. That's just the truth now.
No.
Wait, let me
No.
let me explain it to you.
That
is what I
can be
mean.
a one-off. It can be a one-off.
And we're
It might
talking
not
of
be
the one
every
that
time.
is recurring.
No,
Because
let's
when
talk of the one that is one-off.
one-offs. Okay, one-offs can work. That means we should not bring the conversation again. Because if I come into a place, we signed a contract, we're working 9 to 5, and more than once, I'm always staying till 7. It's not comfortable for me. Eventually, I'm going to blot out in a way that will make us not be productive. So why should I continue in that place?
I feel like if that continues, that means they have to increase your salary.
Increase which salary?
What if there's no fund to increase salary? What happens next?
Then that's a very big issue. Then that's when that's not the right
This is
environment
Nigeria
for
where
you.
most of us work because we
don't
want
have
to
a
keep
choice.
food on our table.
We don't
Most
have
of
a
us-
choice.
You take what it brings. Then we should not. If that's the truth, we should not be having this
Then
conversation.
we are already talking
You
like
take
the
what
CEOs
it
that we feel
brings
like
to
they
you.
don't care about us. Then we already talking like the CEOs that we feel like they don't care about us.
But you
We
have
are-
a choice. We're telling you that the truth, that statement of you don't have a choice is not true. If it is not comfortable for you, you leave.
And
But
do
we're
what?
saying that
That's fine.
we're saying that we're in a nation where there's this thing. Leave and start your business or do something else. If it's not
The
comfortable
economy
for
is bad.
you.
It's actually not that easy.
Okay,
Probably why
then
you're
you
still
stay with
doing
the
it.
toxic boss, right?
It's not the toxic
It's not
boss.
toxic. The word toxic is
It's not
far from
toxic.
it.
Okay.
I feel okay.
Then
The
leave.
one that is one off, the one that is not every time, that is not reoccurring. Probably you as a colleague, you could help out, help out, or you relieve the stress by when the person comes to work the next day, you don't stress the person out too much.
Yeah.
If you know you can actually help the person to do that particular work, go ahead and help the person to do that work.
But I
It's as
won't
simple
help a
as that.
colleague that is taking overtime. Like, I don't know how to put this better than
Sure,
this. I can't help a
Lucy.
colleague that is taking overtime.
Taking
There
or
are
overtime is imposed on her.
On her.
imposed.
Yes, now.
Yes, now.
God's beauty. You'll be going for this
Imposed.
show on Friday by 7 p.m. Is that not overtime?
I mean,
did
I'm
you
supposed to leave here by 5, literally.
Is it that it was not stated in your offer letter
It
that
is
there will
not
be
stated, my love.
times where you would have to work
No,
extra?
no. So what they will tell you is,
We're talking of
can
overtime
Can you
that's-
work under pressure?
No, the thing is,
That's
I think
what
the
they
line
will
in
tell
offer
you,
letter will
actually.
say 9 to 5. But when need arises, I think that's the line. When need arises,
It
we'll
is,
call
can you work under
And
pressure?
then they will pay you for those extra
you work
hours.
under pressure?
So you are meant to be paid for those extra hours. I think according to offer letter that I read last.
So if you're
When
not
need
paid-
arises, we will call
Now
you
we're
and
talking
then.
business.
But in a situation
To be
where
honest,
my offer letter says 9 to 5 and then early morning show and then there's an extra in the evening and then they are now using mouth to restructure the offer letter and I'm saying we say when it arises, but your need is arising every day.
See, you need the rest.
Right.
See,
That's why you have conversation
wait,
with
wait.
the people who give you that letter.
That's number one.
And they will not take you
That's-
back to, did you not know when you want to sign it? Did
That's-
you not know when? This is
So-
Nigeria.
so,
Let's
see,
be practical.
see,
we work
and
with
I'm-
human beings where they
Mira.
will tell you ABC. And when you go back to tell them, okay, you said ABC, they will tell you that I didn't
I don't
arrange
know
it
why I'm
ABC.
laughing, like,
I
That is why we are being taught
CBA.
communication and being assertive. The ABC you've told them, you say, Ma, this is not looking ABC anymore. Please let's sit down and look at the DEF.
It's like you want to be jobless.
I think
I get what you're saying, but
okay.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time,
I don't want to be
I'm like,
jobless. Fine.
when-
Okay, let me now take that situation as it is and not complain.
That's-
That is the
and
either or.
start
I'm
to
telling
burn
you.
out.
Lucci,
Let's now
see,
burn out since we don't want to be jobless.
This is where your mentality, number one, have to change. Number two, you have to do what works for you. Now, these are the things. See, passion works great. Let me now give myself as an example, since you already brought up the Friday stuff. So because of normal, I'm supposed to leave here by 5.
We
right?
have 2 minutes. Let's start.
Okay,
to
so
wrap
because
up.
I'm supposed to leave here by 5, and I was told that, oh, God's Beauty, there's this interesting show I want you to go on. You know, it will be interesting and all of these things. Number one, passion speaks. Of course, I want to go there. Like, I want to go out. I want to see what's going on. That's number one. Number two, my mentality. Now, I already understand that when it comes to my kind of job, I would always be on my decks. Do you understand? I have to always go out. I have to always go out. Once you understand these things, you will not have an issue. So even if they tell me today now that I've got PTO today, we have a show that's going all night, I'm happy, I'm ready, let's go.
Okay.
Do you understand? So by default setting, in my head is, let's just do it.
That means you would
how
less
I am.
likely complain
Let's just
about
do it.
burnout.
So you will not see me there, don't worry.
Okay.
That's why I will always say that there's
Okay.
nothing like too much work for me. Because I already
Now-
have this mental thing that, okay, this is my kind of job and this is how they
Let's
operate.
just wrap up with this. I think my own 2 cents would be, do not compare. As boss, as HR, don't compare this person with this person. Our strengths are different from each other. Our weaknesses are some of us, we don't joke with that 2 minutes weekend. Some of us, we already planned, okay, I'll go and see this person. Okay, we already
2
timed.
minutes
So the fact that, okay, you're adding extra is destroying us on our own. Some of us do not like outside job. Some of us, any small traffic, we already have headache. Some people, we are outside. That's their second name. So try to understand your staff individually. I am not God's Beauty. I am Shola. I am not Shola. I am Oluchi. Right. So don't compare. If it's Oluchi now, she will not complain. This Shola says she's too lazy. I don't think you should say she's too lazy. Understand Shola's strength. Or if you put Shola in this coven, what will she do well? She will do well. But if you put Oluchi in the net, oh wow, she's going to build the net and turn it to gold.
Indeed.
So
Please, I want to say something. Everybody in this world has a choice. That statement of you don't have a choice, the economy, you actually do have a choice. If you're in an environment that is toxic and you cannot deal, please find a business to do.
and that's
you.
our 2 cents on the show today. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Osayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?